shining bright, it's time to leave this land. It's fun and full of people that they drag us in your hand. The polar state to catch you and they'll take us to the sea. Just another picture, what makes us fit to free.
Hi, welcome to another edition of On the Volley, or as we like to be known, OTV. We're back again, where we talk about all things football. Now it's me and Matt.
Hi.
Matt, where's Keith?
Keep us late again, mate.
He's always late. Give him a shout, will you?
Oh! I'm here. Sorry, lads.
We apologise for Keith, okay?
Sorry, always late.
He's had a problem with his timekeeping from the time of going to school, okay? Did
Very
he go
true.
to school?
I imagine they still had school in the 1960s, you know. I'm not sure, you know.
Anyway, we're here today. We're here today to discuss one of our last podcasts. The last two we did. One of them was on who we thought would qualify for the Champions League and who we thought would qualify for the Europa League. And today we're going to see who was right and who was wrong.
And we had a little bit of a game about this as well. So we had a little bit of a point system of, who's going to come top of this league?
No, this is the Champions League.
Oh, this is just the Champions League qualification. Oh, we're not going to the results first.
No, that comes in after.
I'm so keen. All right.
How much does he have to drink?
I was late, so I don't know
Okay. No, we discussed it when we discussed it. I think we gave our preference for the qualification of the Champions League the Champions League places, which was obviously between Liverpool, Leicester, and Chelsea at the time.
I'd like to stop you there. Okay, Keith, correct me if I'm wrong. It was you that turned around and said, are we talking about who we prefer to be in the Champions League or who we want to be in the Champions League? Okay, you're the only person that spoke about preference, okay, or who we thought would be in the Champions League. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct, mate. Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about who we think is going to be in the Champions League.
Okay. I gave my preference. I also completely contradicted myself by saying that my preference wasn't going to happen, but
That's strange, isn't it? That's strange. Not like him. That's not like Matt.
Thank you. No, so we got to the point where we all made our prediction. And what prediction did we all make? Do you remember?
I seem to remember my one. Okay, now I got two right. I said Man City and Man United in the Champions League.
So brave and bold of you.
But,
do you remember they have got? There is evidence of this out there before you give your answer.
Absolutely,
It's all on film. It's all there.
No, I honestly believe that. Well, I said Liverpool are definitely going to be in there. It was without a doubt, and they're in there. I'm quite surprised at Leicester. I thought Leicester would make the Champions League, okay, and they were winning 1-0. Then they went to 1-1. Then it was 2-1 at the end of the first half, and then they just crumbled. And Tottenham scored 3 goals, if I'm correct. Yeah, so they won 4-2. Okay, with Gareth Bale scoring 2 goals. Gareth Bale, who Mourinho never played, albeit one of the goals was in the 98th minute, but it was over and done anyway.
Leicester were dead on the feet, weren't they? I think you saw them at the end and they were just they looked like they were running concrete. I think their heart had gone as well, because they kind of knew they'd lost that spot, and such a shame after the season they've had that. I think we talked last week about the whole campaign basically catching up with them. They have got a small squad, so they have had to play their best squad every single game.
There's been a lot of games, hasn't there?
Yeah.
A lot of big games.
Yeah, in a short period of time.
They had a really, well, can I say it? They had a bad running, really. They had quite a bad running.
Toughest,
It was tough. It was tough for them. Plus, obviously concentrating on the FA Cup at the time, and then, you know, I think the pressure got to them in the end. But small squad, you say, talented but small.
I think I agree with both of you. Okay, you know, and you did point this out in the last podcast, the running, which was very, very hard for them. The FA Cup, you're absolutely right as well. Okay, it's obviously taken a lot out of them, and as you say, they don't have a big squad.
No.
So
They also had key injuries as well. I mean, they lost Madison, didn't they? They lost Barnes, two of their most creative players. So they lost those at points in the season. Not to say, you know, that impacted the end of the season, but they were in a very strong position at one point, and then they just seemed to, as they lost those players, just slide back ever so slightly, and it made them catchable for Chelsea and Liverpool.
But you can say that about other teams as well. Look at Liverpool.
Well,
Liverpool
yeah.
were decimated. Liverpool was decimated by injuries. Okay, and they lost Virgil van Dijk. Okay, which was a massive loss for them.
That was a huge blow.
Yeah.
Well, it proved that it was a huge blow in the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, without it, they've not been the same team, have they, without a doubt. And we have discussed that previously. But yeah, I think the impact of the injuries to Madison and Barnes was particularly to Leicester's season, whereas they maybe would have been too far in front on the last game of the season. I mean, let's face it, we're talking about, you know, 1 point here.
It was close.
You know, they lost out by basically, yes, capitulating a little bit in the last game of the season, but also, I mean, Chelsea lost the last game of the season as well, which is, I don't think any of us had that down as like kind of like an idea that basically.
Well, you did think that was going to happen
as a one-off game, and that was really based on just taking that, not that Leicester and Chelsea would both lose the last game of the season. I mean, no one really thought that, did they?
Well, I didn't think they'd qualify. If you remember rightly, I said Liverpool and Leicester. I didn't think Chelsea would qualify. Although they've been playing well recently, I just thought that they wouldn't qualify. But obviously, you know, they lost. Okay, but Leicester lost it. They
I
lost
honestly
it.
can't remember. Can't remember what I said now, because
I think I have a feeling you.
I think that's.
Me and you agreed that it would be Liverpool and Chelsea.
But we wanted Leicester.
We wanted Leicester.
Yeah.
And then I think when we came down to the predictions and the scores, we kind of mixed it all up a bit and completely contradicted ourselves.
Exactly.
Well,
And we'll
well, I know, because
see
I've got it down in front of me. So I know exactly that I didn't contradict myself.
I thought you said Newcastle was going to qualify for the Champions League, seeing as they got Joe Willock.
Well, you know, maybe we would started a bit earlier in the season, like to play football,
But in fairness to Liverpool, you know, they have had a very difficult season with injuries, and they've just done it at the right time. And sometimes that happens at the end of the season. You know, they've essentially had their long season at the start of the season where they had all those injuries. I mean, even those players haven't come back, but they've found their form towards the end of the season. It doesn't mean that they don't deserve their Champions League place, because they always say the league never lies, and at the end of it, Liverpool got over the line.
Well, it's like I said when I made my predictions, I did say that Liverpool had picked up form, okay, and they've been playing well. And, you know, I mean, you've got to be honest, okay, Liverpool do deserve to be in the Champions League. They're a great team, okay, they were decimated by injuries, okay, but when they've got their team, okay, when they've got their players, okay, you know, they are a great team, and they're a joy to watch as
Who
well.
do they miss the most? Who do they miss the most? I mean, I know they missed Van Dijk. Van Dijk wasn't back before the end of the season. Gomez wasn't back before the end of the season.
No.
So who did they miss most out of all their injuries?
You'd have to ask Jurgen Klopp that one. I don't know. I'm not the manager.
Or James, I mean.
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk, I would say.
Massive
Yeah.
miss.
Yeah, but he's been missing all season pretty much. So, but to get back into that form just towards the end of the season, I mean, they've brought back in Henderson, haven't they? And Henderson's been there.
Yeah, but
and I think he seemed to be not obviously going for the title sort of like miss, but the key that was missing in terms of.
But Jota was injured as well.
And Jota was injured as well, yeah.
You know, and he was firing when he was playing. He was scoring left, right, and centre. So that was a big miss for them as well. So, you was about to say, Keith.
No, I think you were saying there, you know, that Liverpool deserve to be in the Champions League, and yeah, they do, because they got there.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't had a great season, but they've clawed their way back, and they got there, and they got enough points to be in the Champions League, so they deserve it.
Exactly.
No, I mean, yeah, I mean,
You can't argue that point. You can't argue that point.
I know it's none of us have said Chelsea deserve to be in there, you know.
No,
but they also do. I mean, they were down in 7th, weren't they?
Yeah.
When Lampard was sacked and Tuchel's come in and changed that team around in terms of getting a result every week.
I mean, that Tuchel, I quite like listening to the guy. You know, it's not about him. It's about the team, and it's about he's not interested. He doesn't want the spotlight on him, and I think he's a really good coach. I mean, it just shows he's coming at, you know, after Lampard. And he's done an amazing job.
Lampard's not a bad coach.
He has.
Lampard's not a bad coach. He's just unfortunately, I think he's a little bit inexperienced with a team under the pressure that Chelsea are under with you know, their managers are in and out the door more than they were at City in the 90s.
Well, it's the same problem with Arteta. Arteta's inexperienced as well, you know. And, you know, the difference between Arteta and Lampard is that Abramovich just sacks managers left, right, and centre. If you don't achieve a certain result, you know, you're out. You're out.
That's
He's
it.
ruthless.
Yeah, that's right.
Whereas the
He's got a
Kroenkes,
limit, hasn't he?
yeah, Kroenkes don't really care.
Is that the right thing to sack your manager at the drop of a hat, you know? I mean, I do remember that Ferguson was nearly sacked at Man United. And I don't know if this is like folklore really, but there was a game against Norwich City in the FA Cup, and if Mark Robbins hadn't scored against his former club, they thought he was going to be sacked the next day. Yeah. Now, they stuck with their manager.
We know that story,
and unfortunately we have that history, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, you're not bothered about Arsenal missing out on European football?
Well, if you want to call the UEFA Conference League European football, no. Absolutely not. Like I said in the last podcast, for me it's like the Carabao Cup.
All right. What this European Conference Cup thing? I mean, at the end, if you win it, what happens? Because it's kind of all new to me. This.
I still haven't understood it. He's our man. He's
No, I didn't understand what. I guess if you win it.
Just get into the Europa League next year.
I think.
I tell you what, if it's a Champions League place on that, then that's a joke. That's a joke.
I don't think so.
I've got a feeling. I feel it's meant for the other European teams. So the nations that aren't likely to get into the Champions League group phases and stuff like that are sending their representatives. I guess it's for one of those to have a chance of directly getting into the Europa League.
Right.
I imagine, but I actually haven't looked at it like that. But
right, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah, but okay, I agree with you. But that says it all. It's like I said in the last podcast. Nobody really gives a damn about the UEFA Conference League. It's an opportunity for teams that would never ever have an opportunity to get into Europe. Okay, it gives them an opportunity to play in a European competition. That's it. I'm happy for Tottenham. Well done, Spurs. Enjoy it. Okay, I'm glad we're out of it. Okay. What I'm more interested in is the Europa League and who made the Europa League.
Oh, West Ham. Congratulations there. What a season they've had. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. You know, it's not a club that I have any animosity towards whatsoever. So it's I'm really pleased. Really pleased with it.
Well, me being an Arsenal supporter, but being an Eastender, okay, I'll always support Arsenal, like I said, but I have West Ham.
You definitely
in my heart
have
as well.
you have a bit of just like a.
I'm an Eastender.
You look out for them, yeah. You look
I'm an
out for them,
Eastender.
yeah? I mean, we've already spoke about obviously Moyes, come back to West Ham. You know, he kind of got laid off there.
He got sacked.
Well, he got sacked for underperformance. Yeah, and then came back and has overperformed. So I mean, he's done about average overall.
No, I'm happy for I'm happy for the guy. But they've done well, West Ham, and I mean, you're talking about this Europa Conference League. Is that kind of like the reintroduction of the Intertoto, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
We're like historians here today,
Newcastle
aren't we?
won it.
That says it all. That says it all.
Well, come back, the Intertoto Cup. Oh my God.
I think we won.
You're right. I do remember the Intertoto Cup.
Didn't we win it?
I don't know, you have to tell me.
Yeah,
your own, you wait for conference.
I wasn't bothered.
No one was really paying attention.
I wasn't bothered.
Exactly.
I wasn't bothered. But
But as we said before, these are the predictions we made. West Ham would qualify.
I thought Chelsea would, but Leicester have instead. Okay, right, they've gone to Europe and not the Champions League. So they're still in Europe. So regardless of what we say about the fact that Leicester, were tied and that, they've still made Europe.
yeah.
Is that going to have a negative impact on the next season? I mean, Burnley went into the Europa League a few seasons ago, didn't they?
They did.
And that basically seemed to burst their bubble of really getting up the Premier League,
Well, actually, the same thing happened as well years ago with Fulham.
Oh yeah.
They got
They were in here. They were in this very
pub.
Well, not obviously the team, but
not
the fans.
Yeah. But and it was good. But it was like a Burnley, Fulham, and
Well, West Ham made Europe in the 2016-2017 season as well.
They did.
Yeah. But I mean, it's whether it detrimental season. It's detrimental to your season the next year because you've got so many games, and if you've not got a big squad, it is really, really hard work
Exactly.
to do those
It's
games.
detrimental to your season if you don't have a big squad. If you have a big squad, then you can rotate.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's where you see the difference, I think, in how far teams get. Simple.
Well, you think, all the games you're playing anyway. Even in the league and the cups.
Oh yeah, I mean, we still have two cups, don't we? In
Premier League, you've got the FA Cup, you've got the Carabao Cup, the League Cup, whatever they call it these days. I think it used to be called the Milky Bar.
I think it's called the Man City Cup these days. Actually.
Probably.
And they're proud of that. They call it a very important cup.
It was actually the first trophy they won in my lifetime, up until 2011. So I've got some affection towards the league.
Yeah, it's a dodgy cup, right? It's a dodgy cup. It's got 3 handles. What's that all about?
It's a team sport, mate. Should we go on to our predictions? Our little game that we had.
Yes.
So we had a little game. So we made our predictions last week. The point system is not that complicated. Do we need to go through it? Probably not. Let's just go through our predictions.
I would explain the point system.
You want the point system?
I absolutely.
Okay. This might be up for a student's inquiry. So we have for correct score, we have 10 points. For the correct result, but the same winning margin. So if you had 2-0 and they won 3-1, 7 points. For the correct result, you get 5 points. And
Hold on, when you say correct result.
Gary's done 5 points.
Okay.
And then we have the penalties. And the penalties were.
I didn't know anything about penalties. This is new to me. Did you know anything about penalties?
I didn't know anything about
Well, let's keep it interesting.
I didn't know.
So there were penalties. If you got the complete reversal of the result, so you said the team would win and they lost, minus 5 points. If you also got the complete reversal of the scoreline in that, minus 10 points. Okay? So, shall we go through the predictions? So, Leeds United versus West Brom.
I tell you what, can I just stop you there? Did I win?
We're going to find out. Okay, so let's start from the top. Leeds United versus West Brom, shall we? Do you remember what you said?
Well,
Any idea?
it finished 3-1.
It did finish 3-1.
I said
No,
4-1.
we want that one?
I said 4-1 to
You
Leeds.
did, you did.
I
Memory.
said 2-1 to Leeds.
That's right. And I said 3-1 to Leeds.
Yeah.
Said in there, 5 and 5. Okay, Liverpool Crystal Palace. I'll go first. I'll go first on this one.
Go on then.
I got completely, messed up basically. 2-2, I said.
2-1.
So I got a 0 for that one. Big fat 0.
That was completely wrong. I mean, that was a bad prediction.
I know, but I just had a feeling that was
2-1. I think I said 2-1 again, didn't I?
You did say 2-1. That's correct.
It's kind of, I just missed
Do you actually remember what the result was?
It was 2-0.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Was it?
Yeah.
And who had that?
I said, I think it was like 3-1, I said.
Not quite.
4-1,
If you said 3-1, you would have got how many points? Do you remember?
5.
7. You would have got 7, but you said 3-0, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Shah, you only got 5 for that one. You only got 5. Okay. So, Man City Everton. I don't think anyone got this one. Anyone got this one?
I think I said 2-0
You did?
to Man City.
You did. I said 2-0.
I said 2-1.
You did, and it was 5-0.
Yeah.
So, well, we're all wrong on that
I
one.
see that.
By a big margin, obviously.
But we all got the 5 points for the win.
We all got the 5 points. We all got the 5 points to win. Okay.
I'm getting the hang of this now.
Yeah,
Because,
no,
you know,
I'm glad.
I must have some of Einstein's,
We're
blood.
letting the fly here. We're letting
Exactly.
The fly. We're letting the fly.
Okay, Leicester, Tottenham. Well, I can just say we're all doing pretty poorly on this. Okay, we're all doing pretty poorly on this. In fact, I think very poorly. So, do you remember what you said?
I think on Leicester, I can't remember. What did I say?
You said
Leicester to win, I would have.
you actually for once in your entire life agree with me. So
You did actually. You did.
it did, and it was.
I remember that, yeah.
It was. We both had it at 3-1 to Leicester.
Oh, right. I remember that now, yeah.
I think I went 2-1 again, didn't I?
You did for Leicester. So we all actually got complete reversal of result. So we all scored -5.
-5.
So in fact, put that
Because
into
I remember I
totals.
said I went 3-1 because I didn't want to copy you, and you said, well, hold on a second, you copied me. I didn't remember that, So,
So always do your own homework.
never.
Wolves versus Man United. Let's just go through this quickly. Okay, so I had 1-0 to Man United. Shah had 2-1 to Man United. Keith had 2-0 to Man United. It ended up 2-1 to Man United, so that was 10 points and 5 and 5.
As Usain Bolt would say.
Okay, and now we come down to one of our teams.
I hope that's not a trademark.
One of our teams involved in this. So Fulham versus Newcastle. I actually went 2-0 to Fulham, thinking, oh, Newcastle are safe. Last game in the Premier League. Go on, go out with a
You
bang.
didn't take Joe Willock into account.
I did not take John Willock into account.
Not.
Who, to be honest, I'd never heard of before you two guys started mentioning him so much last week. So yeah, I get a -10 for that. Shah, do you know what you said?
I
said 4-0, I think.
Yeah, I think you did.
You didn't.
4-1.
No.
Yeah, 3-1.
3-1.
3-1.
2 Newcastle, though. 2 Newcastle.
Yeah, of course.
So you get the 5 points for that.
And he said Willock was going to get a hat.
And do you remember what you said, Keith, back?
I said 2-1.
You did.
Again.
Oh, you didn't back your team's defence. If you had, you would have had
Yeah, you got it.
10 points. Unfortunately, you only get 5.
Mate, I never back my team's defence.
Never would I.
Sorry.
Aston Villa, Chelsea. Now,
Ooh.
let's go through this in depth, shall we?
I think you might have got this right.
Do you think?
I said 2-1 Aston Villa,
You did. You did.
which we did actually cover a little bit before because
We did.
Grealish apparently had a stunning game. I've not actually seen much of it apart from the highlights. Well, apparently Grealish had a stunning game. So
You predicted he would have a great game
Yeah.
as well.
Did,
yeah,
did.
because
Got
he
it.
needs to get in the England team. And I think he's pretty much spent his best. So, Shah, do you remember?
I said 1-1.
You did. Keith?
I probably went 2-1 again, didn't I?
You went 2-1, but you went for the wrong team, mate, which is a complete reversal of results. So I'm now actually downgrading you on your final score. We went to Sheffield United versus Burnley.
No, that doesn't count because only one person. Okay, right?
Yeah, that's because we were just too busy talking a load of.
Well, I don't know. Or someone cut us out. Or someone cut us out in the editing. Okay, I'm not talking
You're
about
arguing about this.
No,
You're arguing about the scoring system.
No, actually,
No.
there was a technical problem with the camera.
Okay.
Let me rephrase that. There was a technical problem with the camera man, which is me.
Alright, so we're scrubbing that result, even though Sheffield United.
So it was my
Sheffield
fault.
United actually put in a performance just to send off the season, as I predicted for Fulham. Unfortunately,
You did?
I got the wrong team.
Yeah.
So we went on to West Ham Southampton, which was obviously a really important game for West Ham.
Yeah.
So we actually said,
Someone said 4-1.
I did, and what did it end up?
3-0.
It did, so I get the correct winning margin. So, do you remember what you said?
I think I said 2-1 or 3-1.
2-1. 2-1, so you actually got it. And Cooper?
I think I said 2-0.
You did, 2-0. So we all got something out of that one. Not as much as I'd like.
It's all the twos with me, like, isn't it?
Yeah. You're just consistent. 2-1, 2-0, 2-1, 2-0. More 2-1s than anything else.
I didn't think there'd be a lot of
Bad on
goals
results
for
to
this.
It's
this.
the last game of the season. Yeah, they got nothing. But yeah.
So,
Most seasons anyway.
so we're on to Arsenal versus Brighton.
Well,
I mean, Arsenal family from us here. Arsenal family from us. Good prediction.
I predicted a 4-1 win, if I remember rightly, for Arsenal. I really thought we'd, just going to score loads of goals, but it wasn't the case.
You're right, you did. And both myself and Keith had 2-0 to Arsenal. So
We did.
We back your team. So which comes to the scores. On
The scores on the doors. Ooh.
So
Right.
who won this week's prediction?
So, yeah, I mean, there was a little bit of controversy about the scoring system that I set in place. And we did get a little bit of disagreement. But on the scores, last place, myself. In my own scoring system.
I'm quite surprised.
In what's now known as first place to some people. But in a non-winner to everyone else is Keith on 35. And Shah on 37 points.
Oh, excuse
A
me.
monster 37 points.
We'll have to do that again, I think.
I think we will.
Bloody hell. That's hay fever. How can I have hay fever at this time?
I don't know. It might be a big lump of hair I've got here.
Colombian flu.
Or am I just allergic to Newcastle and Man City supporters?
Let's go again.
Excuse me about
Got
that.
another segment too, haven't we?
Go on, just move straight in.
Straight,
Start
we've got
stopping
enough
it,
time,
yeah,
Yeah,
So we're going
to
for
Arsenal.
2 minutes
Arsenal
in.
score.
Okay, so
The Arsenal score, yeah.
So last on the list, but now why it came out in this order, but Arsenal, Brighton. Do you remember what you had?
Of course I do. I predicted 4-1 for Arsenal. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way, but we still won. So
Another way of saying you were wrong. Yeah.
good job.
And another way of saying me and Keith were right because we both had 2-0. So maximum 10 points for each of us. You did get something right, which is the weekly.
So what is the final result? Who actually won this prediction?
So I'd
challenge?
just like to point out
our first
the
prediction challenge.
the scoring system was a little bit controversial. I was getting messaging back on Sunday night. So we are going to mention it. In last place, unfortunately, myself.
I love the scoring system. I love it. Okay, I love it.
I don't know you're going to come up to that.
Foiled by your own plan.
In second, first place, or a non-runner, is Keith on 35, and unfortunately, I'm waiting on 37. Not a lot between us, to be honest.
Hold on, as Usain Bolt would say.
But due to the protests on and Keith's family, I don't even know this. Keith's family have got Scottish ancestry. They've got Scottish ancestry.
What's that got to do with me winning?
And it means they were probably related to the Stuarts. And so we're going to have a Stuarts firing on this. So we're removing the controversial penalties because we don't like to penalise the Scots anymore than we ever did in our history. So we're not going to we're controversially not going to penalise the Scots anymore, all those with Scottish ancestry. So unfortunately, it means that keeper wins because he's now on 50 points, which makes you're 37.
There you go. Something definitely wrong here.
Stuart's inquiring, can't do anything about it. Sorry, Shah. I guess that concludes our complete ineptitude at predicting results in the Premier League.
All I have to say is the first one we predicted every single game, the last game of the season. Let's see what happens next season. I'm pretty sure we'll improve.
I'm pretty sure. I'd like to get some more involvement as well.
Yeah.
People are following this channel. We'll set up a little quiz, a little predictor, and you can have a go yourselves. And,
let's have your
I'm a champion every
well.
week. If they're near us, we can have them on, and if they're not, we can have a little bit of a conference with them.
Absolutely. Well, with that, okay, I think the only thing that's left to say is thank you very much for watching this edition of our podcast. Remember to put your comments underneath if you have any comments to put. Please subscribe. And we would like to, before we say goodbye, we'd like to thank our host for today, which is the Finnegan's Irish Pub in Rome, Via Leonina 66, just on the corner of the Borgia Steps. And if anyone has ever seen the program on TV, what do you call it, sitcom, the Americans call it sitcoms, okay, right? But the episodes of the Borgia family, well, he just lived just up the road, and he was the Pope of the Vatican. So from me, Shah, thank you very much, and thank you to Finnegan's for hosting us.
Thank you for me as well.
Yeah, thank you from me, and please remember to like the channel if you can. It'll help us massively, and thank you very much for watching.
We'll see you at the next edition.